Hello guys and welcome to a new video. Twin Flame Spirit here, Yvonne, and today we have the topic of twin flames once again, but a different subtopic, which is the one a client brought me to, which is I'm addicted to oracle card readings. That is twin flame oracle card readings. So if you are concerned, if you clicked on this video because you're like, yes, that's exactly me, can't do anything else all day long, or it's not as bad, but I do look forward to listening in, I don't know, once a day or even once a week, whatever it is. It feels uncomfortable to you because you sort of know something's off with it. You can't really put your finger on it, but you can't help yourself. You just feel drawn back to it every time. And what is oracle card readings? Maybe for those who don't know, lucky you. Oh, I can see all the comments already from all the oracle card reading people who have a channel or think it's the best. Like, I'm not like judging anything. I know it sounds like it. Actually, I am. But okay, let's just quickly describe what it is. You know, usually it's these videos where you don't see a lot of faces. Sometimes you do. Oh, I just hit my elbow on the table. That's why it shook it all up. Sometimes you do see faces, but a lot of times you just see hands, right? Hands and cards. So hands are putting cards on the table, right? And that's an oracle card reading. I don't know much about oracle card reading, so that's how you can tell, because I'm a little bit, I can't really express what they're actually doing. I've watched many. I've watched some, let's put it that way. But it's these readings where people draw cards concerning a collective situation, maybe, or your own situation, your own twin flame situation. They talk about your twin flame. They talk about what he might be feeling, what he might be going through. A lot of times it's they do actually say, look, this might like speak to you, this might not, this might resonate with you, this may not. They actually do say that, but the human psyche is made in a way that, of course, we're gonna, believe in that tiny chance that it might be about us, that we're gonna listen to the collective thing, even if it's not meant for us personally. We're gonna think, oh, like chances are he is actually now, realizing that he loves me, or he is now starting to feel the pain. And if I say he, it's because it's mostly a he, right? In these readings they do talk about like sort of the man, because the man is the one who doesn't want the relationship or the union, so they target it, of course, to people who are women, right? I'm not saying they're doing that on purpose or anything. I mostly speak to women too, because I know, okay, it's 90% of women watching my videos for now. I think that will change at one point, to be honest, but for now that's the case. So not saying everyone like is not well intended and is like just doing this to get views or whatever, but even if they do, right, the issue is with you, who feels so drawn in that you're basically wasting your time watching those. And if I say wasting your time, I mean exactly that. Such a fool. You are actually wasting your time, let's face it, because yes, sometimes you can draw something out of these readings, that it's maybe it does point to something you're going through. Maybe it is a collective thing happening, that like and with collective we mean like that several people go through certain things at the same time. So maybe you feel, oh, this is a very individual personal situation for myself, but it's actually, your best friend going through it, your friend up in Norway going through it, your friend down in South Africa going through it, your mom going through it, even though she has nothing to do with the spiritual work or anything. But it's a collective thing, because that happens and that exists, right? That people go through similar things or the same thing at the same time, because it's a collective. As it says, the name is pretty self-explanatory. So that exists, that phenomenon exists, but these readings are mostly laid out to be very individual, right? Very personal, in the sense of there's he and there's you, and then there's the two of you, and maybe there's the karmic, there's that third party person, and maybe there's the dog of that karmic and whatever, it seems to be tailored to you. It seems to be very specific. So you're gonna resonate, and you're gonna just take that glimpse of hope, of like, not glimpse, but that spark of whatever. You're just gonna assume maybe it's now that he realizes, maybe it's now that he comes into his power and has to adjust his shirt or her shirt. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse by the minute. What is this? Sorry. Okay, we're done. So yes, maybe you resonate. So that's what the tricky part about it is, that it draws you in, that you come back for more, right? It's like, oh my gosh, that made me feel so good, now I want more. And what makes you feel good is just the hope. It gets your hopes up. But it's not actually giving you really something. It's not really changing something within you. Yes, in some way it is. You're never the same from one second to the next. But it's not like substantially giving you something of essence, something of truth, something that you can, maybe something you can work with if you then do the work. But like the character of the addiction comes from you wanting more, right? To make you feel good again. You feel bad, you're like, okay, and I'm gonna feel better after I watch this. But it's very ephemeral, do you say that? It's very short timed, like it passes quickly and then you feel bad again. Then you need to hear some other confirmation again of he is starting to feel that you are, and it's honestly not true. It's just not true, because I can't say they're lying or making things up. Maybe it's true for certain situations, or it's the energies that are pointing to that. But honestly, this journey is about you and your inner freaking work. There's no other way. There's no other term to it. Then you'll have to look at the things that are brought up through that relationship with your twin flame. Be it you're talking, you're not talking, you're rejecting you, you're rejecting him, you're running, he's chasing, whatever it is, things are being brought up. Things you need to look at. Your trash is coming out to the light. And by trash, I don't mean you, because you are love, but the things you believe in are trash. The things you believe about yourself. Let's say you believe you're awful, right? You have that ingrained in the depth of your psyche, because as a kid, blah blah blah, and as a result, you assume that you were awful. You're not aware of that. You walk around life and you're like, no, I like myself. I think I'm nice. But deep down, you think I'm awful. So that will be shown to you through your relationships. It doesn't have to be with your twin. It can be, because he's your perfect mirror, but it will be shown to you. And you're then asked to look at it and heal it. And that is work. It's not just like taking a shower in the form of an oracle card reading of like, oh, this feels so good, let me have some popcorn with it. It's not that. Like in my experience, it's truly work. It was months, if not, it's years of work. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying you'll have to face that work. You can't run from it. You can, but it's not going to go away. It's like when you have like a delicious meal and then the dishes are stacking up in the sink, right? They're there. And you're like, oh, let's, go to another room and do something fun. Let's watch Netflix, whatever, right? Let's do that. And forget about the dishes. They're not going to go away until you look at them and you clean them. It takes you to clean them. Not a little fairy's going to come in and clean them for you, or someone's going to throw them out and they magically disappear. They're going to be there to be cleaned by you. So in that sense, oracle card readings are sort of bypassing that. They're keeping you from the real work. They're like focusing your attention on something that makes you feel good in the moment, but not really afterwards. And they are just basically wasting your time. I can't put it any other way. I'm not saying that's the intention of these YouTubers, to waste your time, but maybe it is. But anyways, my intention is to make you realize that you need to work on yourself, and you need to do that and need to look at it. Not because you need work, because you have to be improved as a person, but because you have to get rid of all the layers of BS you're believing in about yourself. You're believing lies about yourself. And that is what stands between you and your happy union with your man or your woman. And that takes some cleaning out. It's like you want a beautiful dinner and you haven't done the dishes yet because they're still dirty from the previous dinner you had. And you're like, oh, but I want that beautiful dinner. I want it even more beautiful than ever before. And I'm like, okay, you can have that, but you need to clean the dishes in order to be able to prepare that dinner. There's no other way. So yes, just go do the work. No, what I really wanted to say is it's okay if you're like in that phase of being sucked in by oracle card readings. Like in my experience, and that I have, it's not that much personal, it's more with my clients. It is really a phase that will end at one point. At one point it just clicks and you're like, what am I doing? What is this? You know, like what? This has been keeping me in the loop for 2 years now, like enough is enough. And that moment usually comes all by itself, and maybe I can help you a little bit with it. I'm gonna motivate you to like drop it, you know, like a bad habit, like a drug. Like, I know it's not easy, but we don't want to bring up the excuses. You can do it. You can just walk away from it because something has clicked within you. You can't force that moment, but maybe I can contribute to it by this video, so that would be nice. But anyways, don't worry, it will pass. You're not alone. This is okay. And you will eventually sort of get over it. Okay, so all the best to you. Much love to you. Thanks for watching. Mwah. Reach out if you want help, and I talk to you soon. Bye, guys.